Got to pay 70%, says Denmark Bear. Yeah, but you're in Denmark, and you guys have watched so many pornos that, I mean, at this point, just be happy you're not dead. So anyway, how does farming work? So the big friendly giant is archetypally Lucifer. Because you have all these, I mean, or not, I don't know. I just thought of that right now because he's supposedly the one that's trying to help the human. When he's bringing the dreams to the human when all the other ones are, it's very Luciferian. I shouldn't have even brought that up because now people aren't going to like the metaphor. And I like Roald Dahl as an author because it's not a direct metaphor to angels. So I'm not even going to make the claim it's Lucifer, but there's something there. Okay, so the world we cannot see, where there are these sonoluminescent things that can be extracted. And I believe they're extracted from emotions and sin and these loops that play in your head. Like, for example, my friend that uses these plants as medicine, I don't judge him for it. In fact, I wish him well, and I think it's actually been good for him. I'm not recommending people do this because most people do it for the wrong reasons, but my friend was trying to break loops. That there's all this programming in his head where it's like almost like this tyrannical dad is always yelling at him to be better and, oh, you're fucking up. Oh, everyone's looking at you. Oh, it's this ego that's looping in his head, and it was driving him kind of crazy. And he said that with some of these plant medicines, it would go away for periods of time and that his ego would go down because he calls it his ego. He calls it because one thing that happens on this journey for a lot of people is they realize it isn't them. Now, I don't believe you need plant medicine to realize this or help this. But some people do, and I'm not going to try and stop them. I'm actually going to wish them well and want to hear all about it because I find it fascinating. Because some people have been through, like my friend has been through war. And so someone like me is not going to judge his experiences or his path. That's why I think some of these plant medicines are good for veterans that have been so programmed and looped that they want to get out of the loop. Most people don't need to do that at all. I don't even think my friend needs to do that, but it's helping him. And I know, and I've known him now for a while, and I can tell it is helping him. And so I don't believe it's evil, and I don't think you should be put in a little cage for it. But the key thing that he realized, that he explained to me, and it just immediately made sense, is that voice isn't you. And I was listening to Howdy Mikulski talk to this woman on his channel. They had this interview where she was talking about programming, about all this programming and coding that goes into us that just goes on loop, and we don't know why we're doing it. And we just keep saying stuff and doing stuff, and we don't even know why. We don't know where it's coming from. It's not us. And so, and then how to stop it, like how to just start rejecting it and say, this isn't me. That voice isn't me. I call it it. Yeah, Lusky. We all know what it is. But here's the interesting thing is when you get back just to you, it can feel lonely. It's a real path, man. I'll be the first to admit I'm kind of addicted to gravy. All right? Like, I don't like doing shit very much. Like, my life is very quiet, and I live on a farm, and I have a lot of tasks and chores. I'm listening to gravy all day. Like, if I don't have gravy to listen to, there's days where I feel genuine panic. That's an addiction. That's a loop. That's got to be a loop. And I'm not like crazy. Like, I can enjoy silence. I can enjoy my own thoughts and all that. But I love just listening to interesting chatter in the background of what I'm doing. I'll refresh my favorite channels, and if they're not uploading, sometimes I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I laugh because it's not like bad, but that isn't, I mean, there's an element of addiction to gravy for me. I get it, to be beat, gravy on drip, ladle in moderation. Yeah. But I love listening to background music. Not music, but background words. Like, I like gravy. I don't like listening to background music. I like playing music. I like being interactive with music, but I don't listen to a lot of music. I listen to gravy. Like, sometimes, like last night, I was so jonesing and I was so desperate that I was like, I'm going to listen to a Tom Barnett interview that I've already listened to because I just like the rhythm of it. And so, again, I mean, sometimes when I'm just alone in silence, and it's healing, it's helpful to do that sometimes, but also other times I'm like, I want my friends. Yeah, Vox has been crushing. Guys, I listen to every Dark Stream, every Tom Barnett, every Pockets of the Future. Like, I'm a gravy addict. But, okay, it used to be Hollywood. Think about how improved my life is and a lot of your lives are, where it used to be like Law and Order episodes or something. Like, we've been addicted to programming for a very, very long time. And so I made the switch to gravy when I quit pornography. And then I started not watching Hollywood as much. And sometimes I will watch certain shows or certain movies. I actually make it a point to, so that I have an idea of what, quote unquote, they are up to. And I have discerned that they don't know what they're doing. That's why I no longer condemn certain tribes and demographics or even individuals that I used to, because they're like a lot like my dad. Like, know my dad really well. He's my dad. I've known him my whole life. He's gone. He has no control over what he's doing anymore. He's like a trapped animal. Shakes because they stopped contact tracing. This was a brave guy. This was a guy who had balls. This was a guy who, you know, there were some problems we had in my childhood, but totally not him. The programming and the sin and the fear and all that stuff has got him to a point where he will do and say whatever he's programmed to do. And it's another dimension that we can't see. It's the big friendly giant. It's this dimension. And the reason that the Big Friendly Giant is such a powerful book, and it was so widely accepted and everyone loves it. And I learned this because my mom, as a children's literature professor, I've been thinking about this stuff my whole life. Why do we like this story? Because we know it's true on a level. That there, you know, it seems so fantasy based and so mythical and fictional. But is it? Are there entities that live in another dimension that, if, you know, like when they're flying together and they go to this cloud world where there's all these giants and stuff, that could be right here, just on another dimension. And so there are these sonoluminescent things that are depicted in this movie. There's a reason our eyeballs go to this movie, because we know on a level it's true. And we are being extracted from by farmers we cannot see. And I don't recommend looking at the farmers or taking hallucinogens to see the farmers, because if you're not, if you haven't earned it, it's like a horse without blinders on, and it's destructive. It's schizophrenia. Not only do I don't think schizophrenics are crazy. I think they're seeing more than we ever will, and it makes them react in ways that are very destructive.